Hey, welcome back. Yes, it's another hot day, and I'm sitting in my bedroom with the fans going, trying to stay cool. But when you first become a diabetic, whether you're type 1 or 2 or gestational, there's something you've got to be aware of, and that's hidden sugar. I have, in my time as working for 7-Eleven, when I first got out of training and went into my store, the fountain syrup thing for Coke wasn't working. Coke wasn't one of our big fountain drink sellers. So they hooked it up to the Diet Coke machine. Thinking, oh well, we can still, they'll put a sign up and everything. Well, by the time I got there that night, someone had taken, let's turn on lights. There we go. Someone had ripped off the sign, and they had since got the Coke working again, and they hooked up Coke and then they to the regular Coke and forgot about the diet, because why change that? I came to work and I was really bad that I would get a big gulp, and once you bought your glass, your cup, you could have as much free pop as you wanted. So I filled it up and I drank it, and I suddenly started to feel my mouth was dry, and everything, and I couldn't understand why. I mean, I'd taken my insulin, I've eaten, wasn't time to eat yet, so why was I going high? Well, I went, for some reason, I had to go into the back and found that, there was a red box hooked up to where the diet lines were. And oh my God. So nowadays they're a little bit more tightly controlled about things like that. They were talking about doing, for a while they're doing separate nozzles. But when you're reading labels, you want to look for things like corn syrup, molasses, honey, there's fructose, sucrose, glucose. Now, this is not going to get into reading the labels. I'll do that in a separate video. But this one is just about if your blood sugars are suddenly very high, take a look of what you've eaten and make sure you've read. Now, there's sugar all around us, and one thing that always amazed me, how we were taught at a very young age to brush our teeth, and I have to laugh because brushing our teeth, there's sugar in toothpaste. I guess it helps with the flavor. There's not that much. I'm not saying, oh my God, stop using toothpaste. But that one just always stuck in my mind for fun. And in my young time, I remember my sister and I were with our grandmother, and she was a big, oh, let's have a cup of tea. It could be 150 degrees outside. Oh, well, let's have a cup of tea. And I'm thinking, no, I want a cold drink, thank you. But, my sister had said, well, we didn't bring my sugar because I could drink tea without a sweetener in it. And she said, that's okay. We'll just use honey. And she was just under the impression that it's natural. So, she was thinking I had to watch sugar as in the grain, the white sugar. But there are sugars in healthy cereal. Whole grain cereal has sugar in it. It takes the edge off the taste of it. Now, obviously, any sort of soda you have that's not diet has sugar in it. Now, a little side here that I find funny, and I watch every so often. I watch hypoglycemia, what to do, to see if there's anything new. And they said, you could give, what did they say, a quarter or 4 ounces or something of pop, not diet pop. And I guess, me being a diabetic, it was like, of course, you would never give diet pop. But this was aimed towards people who really didn't, think, oh, well, I'm watching calories. You need soda? Here, have this. If you partake in drinking, I was never one for drink, and I occasionally, sometimes with work would go out for a drink. I would always ask for a rum and Diet Pepsi, or even a Diet Coke. And I was looked at really weird, like, oh my God. But it's great to calculate your alcohol and what that will do your blood sugars. But you've got to remember your mixes. And you've also really got to know what kind of effect alcohol is going to have on your blood sugars. I never really have any sort of knowledge of this because I was never really a drinker. A lot of times, if I didn't feel like drinking, I would just order a Coke. And for a while there, when I drove, I'd be the designated driver and do that route. But again, you want anything, for the first time that you eat it, you have to look at what's included in it. You have to make sure you know baked goods. Like, a lot of places use castor sugar or brown sugar in their baking, and you have to know how many carbs are on there because it will affect your blood sugar. A little side note, when I started having trouble with my blood sugars and would fall below, you used to be able to get cake icing in tubes. I guess you could still order it offline. But this food, I would carry them in my emergency kit. They could be green, blue. Your body didn't really care. There's that much more sugar in the red one versus a blue one. It's still all sugar. So, if you're going and you want to try a new product, make sure you read the ingredients before you buy it and use it. You can stop an awful lot of hyperglycemic moments. I said hyper, which means up, hypo means down. That you want to make sure you are counting calories, counting sugars, and eventually if you find you like that product, you'll find out how much rice or how much of this product will I need to sustain. Don't go ham. I use that word. But things like protein, they don't have a lot of sugar in it, but still, you don't want the caloric hit. Eat sensibly. Learn how to eat. Better thing, we talked about going to a diabetic education center. Go and ask to speak to a dietitian. They will go into this so much more in detail. Have a great day. Talk to you later. Bye now.